92.7 3 FM.
What really happened? Is it because of policy failure?
It's definitely policy failure.
The individuals who came back, they didn't want to impact, or the citizens were not willing to learn?
Well, I mean, some stayed abroad for a very long time. Some came back to impact on society, meaning that intentionally or unintentionally, they ended up training many other people, but it goes beyond those individuals. How many were they? Aside coming back and trying to establish your own business, are we very intentional as a country to support them with some venture capital to get them to do things? We don't see that around here. Very few organizations or individuals get to experience that, get such packages from maybe multinational organizations or governments to set up organizations or businesses to affect people. It's rare.
For those of you who have dedicated your lives to culture, tradition, fashion, music, being in a creative space, is it easy?
It's not easy at all. Yeah, and I think to belong to the creative space around here is like being a teacher. Your reward will probably be in heaven.
In heaven. It doesn't happen in the real time.
You have to be very intentional to break doors and break windows to actually step into spaces to get things done for you. If you actually decide to chill, to wait for that golden opportunity, it might never happen. I mean, look at someone like Stone Boy. Right. I think for 2023, he's probably arguably not arguably, probably the most hardworking Ghanaian musician in this year.
Right.
But locally, what's happening? Is it affecting him? Can we quantify what he's done out there in terms of probably what do you call it? Copyright,
right?
In terms of money he's made from copyright. I don't think we can do so. If he's not registered outside and he's focusing on copyright from GH, nothing will happen.
Nothing.
No.
Let's talk about music and dance.
Yeah.
We had a whole course or subject, as it's called in basic school, called music and dance.
Yeah.
And for some strange reason, it was just taken off.
Yeah.
It has not been replaced. Nobody has put anything in its place. What do you think of that?
I don't know what you saw growing up, Johnny, but very often when my mother saw that I was a creative person, one of the things she said was, no, Charlie, I'm not going to encourage this one. No, you can't be. She had a way of putting it. You can't grow up to become a public toy. That's how my mother would say, and I think it's the same thing that's happening in the schools. Okay, let's have some creative stuff, but what is music and dance?
What really is it?
Why should you
do for us?
Why should you come to school and get educated and end up as a dancer? That's the mindset.
You can learn that from home.
Do
you think that we get that mind because every Ghanaian child is creative? People dance anyway. So why do you have to go to school to come and end up as a dancer?
One would say
people sing anyway.
Yeah.
We do Imogo, we do an Ansisem at home. Why should you go to school to become a storyteller?
If you're not intentional to get things done properly, you'll just you could be a very special or very gifted public speaker, but if you don't learn the nuances, you won't get a lot of things done properly.
Right.
So education in every field that you find yourself is important. If you're a doctor, okay, you might be very interested in healing people, in affecting people's lives. Just based on what you've heard from your grandfather, you put things together.
Right.
But once you're educated as well, you do it to the best of your ability.
And that deliberate effort, do all families in Ghana understand that?
Well, we need some reorientation.
We need to pray.
Yeah, we need to pray. It's not all families. There are families that really, believe that children should be encouraged to be, good in the academic field,
right,
and also have that creative aspect as well. It's important if you're able to juggle those two very well.
The government presently, and because you raised this matter that people are not deliberate about it. The government has STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. The Americans have science, technology, engineering, arts, and whatever it is. Why can't we do STEAM and we're doing STEM? Why?
like you said, I believe people think generally that we have a certain level of creativity as a people. There are people who believe that, there's no African who doesn't know how to move to a rhythm.
Yeah.
It's something that's embedded in us. But if we decide we can't have only doctors and lawyers in a country. No. Imagine see what's happening in Hollywood. The actors decided to go on strike.
And it was a big mess.
Yes, it was a big mess. It's affecting the economy. Can you relegate the impact of the creative industry on what America is? And they're very intentional in terms of projecting it. I mean, you'd see governments and presidents travel to different parts of the world, and they don't just go with business people. They also go with creatives.
Right.
We've seen it in Ghana before. Was it President Bush that came here with Jordan Sparks?
That's right. Fat Joe has been here.
Exactly. What's the lady called? The current vice president, Kamala Harris, was in Ghana last year, and she came with what's Spike Lee. Spike Lee was not in Ghana to document her trip. That wasn't the essence of his presence in Ghana. So we have to be intentional about not just sending the business aspects, but make it a 360. We can't sell Ghana without our arts and culture. It's not possible.
But we have a whole ministry for tourism, arts and culture. We have the National Commission on Culture. We have other agencies that are supposed to deal with these things. If you look at the policy direction and the policy standpoint, would you say that we're getting it right, wrong? Because you have played in the field for so long.
Yeah.
People still think that you are maybe like 42, 43, maybe 39. They still assume that KOD is a young man. But they don't know that you have done this, for decades. Yeah. What do you think?
It's about being deliberate, and then also, and especially with this government, Nana is someone who came on the backs of quite a number of people in the creative space. His campaign was launched in 2007 with a Believe in Ghana concert that had quite a number of musicians and creatives supporting him. And throughout his campaigns, till he became president, he was very, very, he used quite a number of creatives. So you'd expect that at a point or a time like this, this should probably be the best time for creatives in this country, because this is a president who also understands and appreciates the creative industry. But and obviously they had a policy for the creative industry, but what is happening?
I remember that we said we're going to build theaters.
Yes.
We said we're going to construct a magnificent building somewhere in Accra, Kumasi for the creatives. We're going to set up a fund.
They have them in the books, but in terms of getting things done properly, no.
Do they consult some of you who are in the field to say, look, this is what we have planned, but how do we implement it? Because you are in the field. Yes.
I believe it's one of the reasons they appointed someone who is one of us, to be the deputy tourism
minister for tourism, art and culture.
I mean, he's been very vocal in terms of the things that have been planned, but execution's been next to nothing. So the plans are there. They consulted certain people within the creative space. I mean, I know quite a number of people who were part of even their manifesto writing from the creative space.
Right.
But getting it done per the plan, that's another conversation.
We'll ask for more. To Sibisa there, super fly man. It's got you grooving.
I know. I'm getting flashbacks. When I lived in England, I used to record jingles and promos for radio stations. And one of the things I did was work with Teddy Osei.
Right.
So I was part of the team that did the homecoming concert for Sibisa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's after I had come back home.
Okay. Teddy Osei.
Solomafio,
the late. Mactonto, the late. Wendell Richardson.
Yeah, Wendell, great guy.
Yes.
Yes, all those guys.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
I was getting some really interesting flashbacks listening to this. And these are songs we also, some of us grew up listening to this at home.
You have paid your dues.
I'm still paying.
When will you stop paying?
Charlie, I mean, you're done when it's over.
Yeah. Let's talk about fashion.
Yeah.
Because you are a fashion impresario, I should put it that way. You organize your own fashion shows. You sew clothes.
Yeah.
You clothe people, you style people. You talk about fashion.
Yeah.
You're passionate about it.
Yeah, very.
You're looking at your costumes. You're looking at the fabrics, the designs that go into it. Why did you decide to become a tailor?
It's quite interesting, but when I was done with my O-level, one of the things I wanted to do, you know, that period where you're just at home doing nothing.
The lame duck period.
Yeah. I actually wanted to learn to sew.
Okay.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I failed with my O-level math. Okay. So my dad was very unhappy with me and was not interested in supporting me in that area. It was so bad, I had to be sent to our boss, Brakwesi.
King Kwesi Chedakwa.
To be in China math, no, and to say, for when he seen so, you know, and
focus on him.
Charlie, for someone who had 9 straight,
right?
You know,
right.
From 9 to 4, Charlie, I really tried.
Charlie,
yeah. And I think the period was like somewhat 3 months to do the reset. So that actually derailed the plan of learning to sew.
Okay.
And then many years later, I'd work with someone like Kofi Ansan, like Wiki Osei, Reggie's father, Maulio Kujeto, and they always made things for me per my designs. You know, and the first time that I thought about it commercially was when Kwekuti was going into the Big Brother house.
Okay.
It's like, oh, Charlie, I did go Big Brother house, so put some things together for me. So we got the fabric, I put the sketches together, and then we got a tailor at Nima to get them made for him.
Right.
But when I got married, you know, that's what my wife does. It's her full-time job. She's like, but you know, you draw, you make your own sketches for people to sew for you. So why don't you make a business?
People don't know that about you.
Yeah, I know.
You draw, you play drums.
Yeah, I do.
You sing.
I try to sing. Yeah, the only other thing I can do as well as you do is play the keyboard.
I beg you.
That's why we need to be in one band. You know, so when I got married, she's like, Charlie, listen, let's work with the blueprints that exist in the world. We know of P. Diddy's Sean Combs or Sean John.
Right.
We know of Rockaway, Jay-Z. They all use their names to establish clothing brands.
Right.
Now, what makes you different is that you actually create them yourself,
right?
Not just using your name. So initially, when we started the brand, it was 1957 by KOD. And later, I thought, no, Charlie, drop the KOD, just leave it as 1957.
That's a signature.
Yeah,
that's
a signature on its own. You know, and we've not looked back since. It's been about maybe some 13 years. Yeah, but when I worked in the media space and juggling that with the fashion industry was quite a struggle for me.
What was it like?
I'd go to work in the morning around 9, get up around maybe 12 or 1:30 to get ready for my radio show on Star FM at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Get off at 6 o'clock. Charlie, the day is gone. You know, and there are people who no, you can't do. And there are people who
are waiting
really,
for you.
They're waiting for you. They want to deal with you. They want your expertise. They don't want to deal with the other people who are working on the brand. They want to deal with you.
Yeah.
So it was quite a challenge for me, and at a certain point I decided to come on, maybe I need a once a week show on radio or once a week show on TV and focus on my own.
Do creative people within the fashion industry, and fashion reflects culture?
Yeah, it does.
Do they have the right needed support in terms of, okay, I want to create this? People think, oh, kaftan de pam the seal, pam the seal. Yes, do they get a needed support to explore their creative abilities?
That's supposed to be one's decision, you know, to explore, and that's why we do photo shoots. For instance, you have an idea, you want to put it out. What you do is you experiment, and with tailors or with dressmakers or fashion designers, what you do is once you're done with the blueprint, you experiment, and make it visual. People see and admire, they like it, and then they go for it. You know, so it starts from that point.
Let's talk about the colors that you work with. What colors are we looking at? What do they represent?
I work more with individuals. So I look at your personality per what you are. I mean, if you're at a certain age, I won't give you certain colors.
Right.
And also depending on the event where you're going to. If you're going to work, you need colors that are quite subtle, not really loud.
Right.
If you're going out in the evening, come on, what would you wear in the evening? You know, if it's a wedding, so per the person's personality, that's first. And then you look at the occasion as well. And then you choose colors.
Location, personality, that's what you look at.
That's what you look at.
Not their money.
Not their money.
Somebody comes and you advise or everything, say, no, Kofi me pay.
Well, I mean, there are people who are also very keen on... you try to justify why you think they should not choose that color. But then
they come back to tell you, Kofi Kayo,
all the time. All the time. Yeah, all the time. All the time. All the time. Yeah,
I mean, you're creating.
So one of the things I struggle when people come to me with their own fabric. I mean, because we sell fabrics as well,
right?
It's not allowed. But maybe I'm a ferry way, I'm a ferry for.
Right.
Johnny Hughes about it in Tomaba. Debbie.
But maybe yes, you know that. Kofi, you employ people.
Yes.
What do you look at before you employ the people?
Zeal, dedication. Someone who's hungry for success. And I really had a struggle in the last year or two, especially with young people that I employ. I don't see that hunger. I just see people who are want to get paid at the end of the month. So that dedication is totally missing. Totally missing. And I think that we should be intentional to rearrange the minds of young people. Rome was not built in a day. If you want to get to the top, you need to go through the mill and work very hard.
I see. You have to do that.
Yes, you have to. We all have to. We have to.
One of the things that you have done, which is remarkable and praiseworthy, is Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah.
You have curated that nicely. You have taken it through a full decade already.
Yeah.
And you have added at different locations with different themes, bringing different people all together.
Yeah.
Who asked you to do it?
Maybe when my daughter was born, God said, create something out of this. Because after she was born, my first daughter, her mom used to make clothes for her. And then people like Dorinando would say, me pay him out paying for the mommy. So when she turned 1, we had a fashion show for her, to outdoor the children's line or her market at the Old Twist nightclub in Laboni.
Right.
Then it wasn't Rhythms on the Runway. It was just a fashion show with kids, our friends, children, and a runway, friends and family seated. We invited people from the creative space to come. Then Kwabna and Ifia performed for us. Okay. And that's what saw the birth of Rhythms on the Runway.
I see.
A year from then, we moved to Citizen Coffee. Then we started bringing our friends in the creative space to come aboard. Third edition, people were already coming from England. Fourth edition, 1957 had been born.
Wow.
And then we took off from there.
And that's how it's been.
Yeah, that's how it's been.
So different locations.
Different people. It's become a Pan-African event. It's now way beyond us. I mean, 1957, for instance, is not showing our rhythm this year. I'm not part of it.
I see.
I'm not, no.
You are not part of it?
I'm not part of the show.
But you're just putting it together?
I'm just putting it together for other brands.
Fashion
yes, for other brands. Other
Why
Pan-African.
Why are you not part of it? Why did you decide not to be part of it?
That's always been the plan. It's not about me. It's not about like my immediate family, because my sister-in-law also makes hats and fascinators. My wife makes clothes. They're on the show this year. But it should not be about us as a family. No, it's gone way beyond us.
It's grown beyond
It's gone way beyond us. I mean, it's not even a national event now. It's a Pan-African event.
Do you think that fashion should be learned in school at the basic level?
I think so.
Why?
I mean, if you don't learn from the basic, how do you get it right? That's the difference between someone who's making clothes from Italy and someone who's making clothes from here. The finishing. And if you don't start right from the scratch to get things done properly, you can always tell when you see the final work.
But Kofi, we used to have life skills in school. Braid, baft, timber, needle, thread. We all went through it. Then somebody came, like music and dance, they took it off. What are we doing?
I think we probably want to create or have a nation that has a lot more.
We had cultural studies
by the long people.
Cultural studies.
Yeah.
We had music and dance. We had life skills. They took everything away.
Yeah.
One stroke, finish.
Yeah. And then maybe it's because we've had a struggle. People like myself struggled with my O-level math and science. So government is probably trying to be very intentional about projecting math and science and relegating the creative arts. I think that's what it is. Maybe.
But does that make sense?
It doesn't at all.
Because
imagine a country with only doctors and professors. Because
the government continually says that, look, we need to create a space for tourism because it would make us a lot of money forth and off. And you are not looking at it really. Is TVET answering that question? TVET.
No,
is it answering that question?
I don't think so at all.
It's not answering that
no,
question.
no. I mean, when people come here, any country you travel to, what would you want to take back? You'd buy their clothes.
Right.
I mean, you have this band on your head. It's from South Africa.
And this one as well.
Exactly.
From South Africa.
Yeah. I mean, these are things you take from any country you visit. You take music out. You'd have an experience with their food. You can't take that with you.
That's right.
It would be an experience. So it's music, clothes, shoes, creative things.
Right.
Paintings. So we have to be intentional to project these elements of our country, of our economy.
Why are you fixated on the castle, the Christenborg Castle? What does it mean to you? When you have a beautiful event and say, let's go to the castle.
I know.
Go to the castle. Go back.
And especially this year, our theme for this year is aqua, water.
Okay.
And we thought, well, since we're having the aqua edition, we went there for the year of return edition. We chose that venue because of what it represents. You know, it was a slave dungeon. Our brothers and sisters who were taken to the other side of the world went to
Jamestown, Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. Through the castle. So it was a way of also saying that we're liberated. We're not part of what happened there. We've broken away from that. So that's why we went there for the very first time. But for this year, we sort of somewhere that gets us closer to the ocean.
Okay.
And for me, that's such an iconic venue in terms of security. It's one of the most secured locations in this country. The greenery, you still get to experience the aqua that's next door. Right up, behind the wall is the Gulf of Guinea.
Right.
You know, so why not that venue?
The castle.
Yeah.
I'm sure it brings you memories.
Oh, yeah. Great memories.
What memories?
It's more of growing up because I grew up not too far from the castle. I grew up at Rage when my father was a director of prisons. And interestingly, very often when I wanted to leave home, I'd go behind the castle and play with the kids. I don't know why I like that area, you know. And I think the first time I went there was when I was about 9 years because my uncle worked in there. Uncle PV Obing was, you know, great PV Obing worked in there, and it was a building I'd always admired from a distance. You know, the historic aspect of that building. Work started in 1661 and taking about 12 years to complete. Right. You know. And I never, till date, I still have not been able to explore
the full
castle. No, I haven't. You know, so it's a building that really blows my mind as a person.
It does.
And also having an opportunity to go to a place like James Fort, where my father was once
commandant. Proper.
Yeah, at James Fort. The castle is much bigger. You know, so I always admire that building from a distance.
Would you say that people are interested, corporate Ghana, interested in helping you to advance the frontiers of culture, tradition, fashion with what you do?
Some corporate organizations, not all of them. You know, sometimes you really have to defend what you're doing to certain corporate organizations. You have to talk and before they actually decide to support you. But then again, I think there's something happening in the system generally. When we started Rhythms, maybe the first 2-3 years, we had the huge telcos, your MTNs and Vodafones coming up to support when we had just started. So one would expect that after maybe 10 years, the event has gotten bigger. Keep it on. But then generally, you don't see any support from these organizations within the creative space. They don't. They'd rather organize their own. I can't speak for them.
Can't speak
no.
They have not explained that.
No. It's rare for you to see any event sponsored by some of these companies.
What goes into the choice of music to promote culture on your shows?
You look at the relevance of the artist in the day. But then again, one of the things we also do is try to choose different genres of music, people who are representing the different genres in different countries. For instance, this year we have a musician who's already in town. She came in last night from Eswatini, that's Swaziland. She's already in town performing with Abiana tonight and getting ready for Rhythms next week.
Alliance Française.
Alliance Française, and getting ready for Rhythms on the Runway. So since it's become a Pan-African event, let's have different elements of our country. There's another artist coming in from Sierra Leone. I'm told she's the biggest rapper in.
To say their names.
Yeah, her name is Tasha.
We need to anticipate.
Her name is Tasha. Tasha is described as the biggest female rapper in Africa.
Okay.
Floe is the lady coming from Eswatini.
Great. We're doing the Aqua edition.
Yes,
Are we not?
Man,
on the runway.
I was just thinking about drinking water and then getting choked. You still need water.
You still need water.
Can you imagine? Water knows your enemy.
Water
The great fella Nicola Pukuti.
But why the Aqua edition? You said you wanted to get closer to the. Was that the only reason? Or was it because of the blue?
The blue. The blue is part of it. Last year we did the green edition, to speak against climate. So the whole thing is about climate action. That's what we're doing. We're using fashion and music to have this conversation. So you, for instance, and your co-host you're going to be the two of you our guest host on the show. Because you too, she's back next week. We've been talking in the background. Yes, because you people have a lot of that kind of conversation on your radio show. I mean, for me, it only makes sense to have someone like you on the show as a guest presenter to talk about water and what we need to do.
Right.
See what happened in the Volta region just about a month ago.
It's sad.
Yeah.
So this has grown beyond you.
Yeah, it's way beyond.
What you anticipated and envisaged, that's gone beyond.
Yeah, way beyond me.
What do you do now?
We keep growing. Last year we had South African Tourism came to support sponsor Rhythms on the Runway. They came all the way to sponsor, and the plan was to get traffic from here to that side of the continent.
Right.
That's the dream. At a point, if other people want the franchise, why not? That's how we start growing beyond our immediate boundaries.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
In terms of young models, young fashionistas, people who are creative people who are looking at you for inspiration, what do you tell them?
Focus. Yeah, I mean, you need to be focused. That's the most important thing. And also, humility to learn from those who came before you. I was mentioning names like Kofi Ansan. I spent time with them. Ricky Osei. I spent time with them. And Johnny, the two of us, we've learned from some great people.
Yeah, we've been in some corners.
We've been in some corners. And it's the only way you get to know the right things.
Yeah.
You can have an idea, but I think what social media has done now is, Charlie, you can be in your own corner, be at home,
YouTube
somewhere
yourself.
in YouTube yourself, playing music, and you think you have maybe some 10 million followers.
But the rudiments are missing.
They'll be totally missing.
This year, Castle.
Yes.
What do we need to contribute to be part of the experience?
Well, the tickets are out already. They came out 2 weeks ago. And we're trying to encourage people to buy online, but there are also people who want to hold their tickets.
Yes.
Mato tickets. Media. So exactly. So we're selling more online, but then we still have people who can buy. Just log on to www.rhythmsontherunway.com, and it takes you straight to where you buy your ticket. That's the first thing you see before the activities lined up for the night. And then we're also selling at 1957 in all branches of FBN Bank. Yeah.
FBN. So
FBN.
1957 no soup.
No soup. And the FBN.
FBN Bank of your choice.
Yeah, of your choice.
You can just go and get.
But it's very easy. You don't have to move anywhere. Just get on your phone.
We want to hold the ticket.
Yeah,
what's your problem? Why are you begrudging us? We want to hold the ticket. You say no.
I know.
We want to hold our tickets. So this year, what are we to expect?
We are honoring 4 individuals who have affected Pan-African creativity.
Right.
Joyce Abibio is definitely one of them.
That's right.
Personally, when I'm hiring people from Ghana as a tailor, if you're not coming from Joyce's school, Charlie, some
suspect.
Way. Yeah. So I personally have so much respect for her. Everyone who's come out from her school, they always stand out.
That's right.
They always stand out.
That's right.
So on any given day, I'd want to work with someone like her students. So she's one of our honorees this year. One human being that's really affected our music and also projected Ghana globally is our brother Rocky Dawuni.
Right.
So Rocky Dawuni is one of our honorees this year as a Black Star honoree at Rhythms on the Runway. And then we decided to venture out of Ghana and look at a group that is also very Pan-African, from Jamaica, Morgan Heritage.
Oh, wow.
They love this country.
Yeah,
they love this country.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. So we're honoring Morgan Heritage next weekend. And last but not least, our own Stone Boy. I think this has been a very great year for him. He's been out there selling our country like no man's business. And if the world failed to give him his flowers this year, we're giving him one at Rhythms on the Runway.
Fantastic. Is Rocky Dawuni.
I know. When he released his album, we all thought, Charlie, Bob Marley come back.
He told me the story about this song particularly.
Yeah.
He had come just back, returned. He wanted to do a song for Ghana.
Yeah.
And then he brought an equipment to record at K's frequency.
Yeah.
Right?
KOD.
Yes. And then somebody stole the machine.
Oh dear.
They recorded the first part. So they had done the second part. They had to use the machine to merge it.
Right.
Somebody stole the machine.
Wow. I always thought this song was recorded by Zap Mallet, no?
No, well, Kwachi.
Mr. Kwachi.
Yes.
But the old man.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes. So the song, he just sang one take.
Yeah.
And it was out of the frustration.
Yeah.
And Mr. Kwachi says, that's it. I like the emotion. You're done.
I know.
Finished. So he left. So he and his wife, they told me the story. Said they went to Case Frequency. They went to eat somewhere. They came back. They had taken the thing. So they just took the first part. They brought it here. There was smoke, this, that, plenty.
Oh dear.
So once they recorded the first one, Mr. Kwachi says, that's it. And that was it. So congratulations to him, to Asababio, and
Morgan Heritage and Stone Boy.
Morgan Heritage and Stone Boy. Great. Is Kofi going to teach people how to sew?
Oh, I don't sew myself. No, I mean,
only sketch,
conceptualize, and then they take care of the rest.
But people want to learn how to sew from you.
Well, it's one of the things we've thought about. We have land for that already.
Okay.
Yeah, we already have land at Media.
That's good
for that purpose. I think we're just looking for once we're able to raise that enough capital, because it would be great to also have people stay on campus and study,
and learn, focus,
and focus.
Yeah, talking about
exactly. So that's it's in the pipeline. We'll get there. Yeah, we have the land already.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's a good start. In terms of one district, one factory.
Yeah.
Do you take a favor from the government to say, oh, Kofi, I see we're doing what you're doing. We think we can make you part of our one district, one factory thing?
Well, I mean, they have about a year to go. That could have easily been one of the things, if you go to my hometown, Dansia Crowfoam, go there during the day, you hardly see that many young people. Most of them are in Accra, in the urban Ghana, hustling. You'd only find those who are around engaging in galamsey and then probably those taking care of their grandmothers. But if government had been able to really get this done properly, especially in an area like, maybe like the fashion industry,
right.
Every district has a school to teach people to learn. Ghana Police Service uniforms could be made in Adansi Akrotre,
right,
and brought to Accra.
Right.
Boots for the Ghana Armed Forces could be manufactured somewhere in Tema.
Yes.
Local
content.
Local content.
but it's not happening.
No, it's not happening.
We just buy from China,
it's more.
Is it a case that the powers that be and those in authority think that our people are not capable? Do they think that?
Thinking about the words of Kwame Nkrumah, the African is capable of handling his own affairs.
But what else can I say?
Yeah,
what else can I ask?
If you think your people are not capable, then first of all, you don't even have to initiate that plan of getting something done. You know, you think that they're capable. That's why you want to establish one district, one factory in every district of the country.
Right.
But in terms of execution, maybe then again, we are very good with getting things done on paper. There's a plan, but the zeal to get it done is always a problem.
You raise a very important question.
Yeah.
School uniforms, uniforms of security
Yeah.
services, and other corporate organization that belongs to the state. This is great opportunity.
No, it's a great opportunity. Yes,
employment for a lot of young people.
different parts of the country.
So why can't we do it? Why?
The will to get it done.
I see.
And sincerely, if you went to any of these towns, I'm using Adanse because of the fact that quite a number of people are in Accra from that side of the country.
And I've seen you try to organize them together. You know,
you realize. I mean, we won't have these guys on the streets of Accra and Kumasi shining shoes.
Right.
They'll be back home learning to sew
because there's a hub.
Because there's a hub there.
They can
sew,
and they know that at the end of the month,
and they'll get paid. And then you'd also get people from urban Ghana migrate to that side because there's business there.
And
there's
the
work.
Pride to know that police way Natarian
here. Yeah.
Wow. So why is our minister not thinking about that? I'm just wondering. Why?
It's the will to get it done.
If we were wrapping up the conversation, in the next 10 years, where should we see Kofi Ochodako?
In the next 10 years, I think the school should be running. You know, that
media.
Yeah, media. The school should be running in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, I don't think I'll be part of Rhythms on the Runway.
You would have
gone.
Taken a back bench, left it. The blueprint is there for
the blueprint is already there. And in actual fact, I do very little with the show now.
Okay.
You know, there are people who have been working with us in the last, actually, so my core team are people I've been working with since 2005.
Give them a shout out.
Yeah. Yvonne Tamaklo, or Top Dog Communication. Elvis Crystal, you know, works with us at CFM. You know, this guy has been working on. Last night he was not asleep. He could not sleep because he had to work on our voiceovers for this morning. You know, Loretta, quite a tall team. We work with about 600 people. So really, I can't mention all the names.
You employ 600 people to do Rhythms on the Runway. God bless you.
God bless us.
God bless you. And in wrapping, fashion, culture, tradition, Ghana in perspective, what do you leave us with?
We have to be intentional about what, and the word today is intentional. We have to be very intentional. Intentional about projecting what is ours. There's no way we can sell Ghana without that element of our society, our fashion, our culture, our music. This is all we have. Everywhere we go in the world, they would want to see that element of Ghana.
Right.
Let's carry it with us.
Kofi Ochodako, thank you for spending your morning with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I know.
And one more time, you say we can get a ticket from
www.rhythmsonrunway.com or visit any of the branches of FBN Bank or 1957 in Osu. We also deliver.
Is there a number they can call to get
059 230 8857.
Say it again, please.
059 230 8857.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's our show for today, guys. We're wrapping up with Abi.